Hi, my name is Tina Swithin. I am author of Divorcing a Narcissist and founder of One Mom's Battle. My journey began back in 2009 when I found myself sitting on a therapist's couch trying to make sense of a really dysfunctional, toxic, and abusive marriage relationship. And my therapist got up, walked across the room, brought back a book, and had me read an entry that seemed to jump off the page. And that was Narcissistic Personality Disorder. That day was life-changing for me, although I didn't realize it at the time. That started a journey of education and empowerment. It was also the first step of my marriage crumbling and starting my journey through the family court system. Due to severe financial abuse at the hands of my ex-husband, I was forced to represent myself in family court. So I went into this journey without an attorney. I was in pro se. And it wasn't that I chose that direction. It was that I had no other option. And I quickly learned the importance of strategy when it comes to the family court system, and especially when you're dealing with a narcissist or a high conflict individual. What I came to discover is that the family court system is ill-equipped to handle high conflict divorces, and both parties are typically lumped into the high conflict category, but the reality is it only takes one person to create a high conflict divorce. My custody battle lasted for a total of 10 years, from 2009 to 2019, and some of the most difficult times in my life. In 2012, I was in court 13 times just in that 1 year. I represented myself through a 2-day trial, dozens and dozens of court dates, child custody evaluations, there were 2 of them, minors counsel being appointed, a dozen police investigations, 3 child welfare investigations, all determined that my ex-husband was a moderate risk, but did absolutely nothing to protect my kids. It is an incredibly broken system, and it goes against everything nature intended for us as protective parents. Our hands are tied by a system that doesn't understand these high conflict, toxic individuals, and the reality is they just don't care. There's an extreme victim blaming mentality where the court professionals feel we married these individuals and it's not their job to solve our problems. That, coupled with the fact that parental rights trump children's rights to be safe, healthy, and happy, it is a very difficult equation to go up against in the family court system. But I am one of the success stories. You know, I heard all along that California is a very 50-50 state. That's the reality in every state and in every country that I know of. We live in a system that doesn't value children. There is nothing in the family court system that is truly in a child's best interest. And so navigating that and refusing to listen to the naysayers who told me, 50-50 is your future, you need to accept that. I refused to do that. My mentality was, great, if that's my starting point, I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to accept that as the end all be all. My mentality is that I will chip away at it to protect my children, to do what is right for my children. And I did that. I was told that supervised visits would never happen in my case, and I proved them wrong. And once I finally got supervised visits implemented, I was told, well, the court system just uses that as a slap on the hand. They're not going to order that on a permanent basis. And while that was true for a while, I refused to accept that as my future. And eventually I did get professionally supervised visits put in place permanently, and then a step further to where no contact was allowed. And then in 2019, I successfully terminated his parental rights. And my husband, I've remarried, my husband Glenn adopted my daughters at the end of 2019. I do not believe in accidents. I believe that I was put on this path to help educate and empower other people, to give them hope that, yes, it is a very broken family court system, but you can persevere. You can protect your children. There's no rule book that says this is exactly what you need to do to accomplish that, but through strategy, through the right mindset, knowing what's in your control, choosing your battles very wisely, and presenting yourself to the court as an exceptional co-parent and someone who is not involved in the conflict. It can take a long time for them to see that. They don't know either of you, but you can do it. I did it. There is nothing special about me. I am just like you. I suffer from PTSD. There were times in court where I couldn't even formulate a sentence. But today my kids are safe, and I will never take that for granted. I know your children are not safe, and until the family court system prioritizes children's rights over parents' rights, I will continue to lend my voice to all children and all protective parents because our children are our future and we need to protect them.